Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we'll be talking about Season 2, Episode 3 of The Last of Us. Again, spoilers alert for if you haven't seen The Last of Us yet. Why are you here? Go back, watch the series, and then come back here. There will be game spoilers, but I will not talk about things that will happen in the game that haven't been featured on the show yet for the people who just watched the show. So this episode, we started off with the re-uppance of our mourning period for Joel, who sadly passed away in the last episode in a very gruesome way. I still think that death scene was a little bit more devastating in the show than it was in the game, and even though it was devastating as fuck in the game, I still got my heart torn apart 1,000 times again on TikTok this week. Fuck you, everybody! Everyone who made a TikTok, who made something for Joel that was so beautiful, I cried multiple times this week. All right, then this episode we take it a little more easy, which is something I definitely like. The third episode in season 1 was also very easy. It was the story of Bill and fuck, I forgot his name. It made me cry a freaking lot. It was very beautiful. In this episode, we take some time to mourn. There isn't a lot of stuff happening in this episode. Well, of course, we start to get to know more about the wolves and about the other tribe. I forgot their names as well, but we will learn that later. Actually, really can't remember it. I just know they're a big part of that. Oh, what are they? It's like it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get to it. But we will learn more about that group in the rest of the season. I thought what they did with it was very good. I mean, I dedicated the thumbnail for this video to that little storyline, so that's something, I guess. No, I really thought that scene that they added with that was really good and shows you some humanity among groups, which is something I definitely like. Of course, I also love that we do not entirely know who did it in the end when we get to the bodies of the little girl holding the hammer. That was breaking me, by the way. That was like, oh, why are they keep doing this? I don't think that was the group of Abby and Manny and stuff like that. I do think that those were other wolves that did that. But yeah, that was interesting. For the rest, everything they added in Jackson was kind of the same, kind of different. I feel like there's a different vibe between Ellie and Dina. And I do think they're still getting together later on, but they're taking their time with it, which is something I really like. It's a good addition that they're taking their time more. Like, she even opened up in this episode that she's not gay, and she wanted to ask about the kiss, how good she was. I can't imagine Isabella Merced being a 6 only. I think that was a straight 9 or 10 out of 10 for Ellie. But, you know, we'll see what the future for that storyline brings. But what I wanted to say is I really like what they're doing with the characters. Tommy, I think, is the biggest difference, because in the game, Tommy was like one of the biggest revenge seekers for Joel, which is something I kind of maybe see coming along the way. But I also am really liking the vibe and the way they are going with his character in this series. I mean, he's a lot more easy. He's a lot more dialed back, not in the last episode, because then it was murderous as fuck, which was good for the infected and for the invasion, but this time he takes it a more slow and a more secure approach, which is something I can definitely see being on the good side of the story. And I really like what they're doing with Tommy in that case. I really like what they're cooking up for him. Everything else that happened in the episode, it kind of wasn't in the game, but it was also something that just can't be in the game. Why would you have a kind of like a council in the game? So that was an addition they made for the show, which was something that when they first talked about the council having to vote for them to go with a party of 16, it was like, why? And when it was busy and everyone gave their speeches, I was like, now I can see why. That is fucking great. This is another great scene, especially with the one who called them a skank in the first episode now being there to provoke everyone. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We need to get for revenge because they killed one of our own, and they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back laughing. I was following that. The one who's talked about forgiveness, following that too. It was a really good scene. The one who completely blew me away was Bella Ramsey, and the way she executed her speech. That was phenomenal, in my opinion. I really loved how they did that. I also noticed that she has difficulties with emotions, showing emotion like crying and keeping her face like in a sad vibe or in a happy vibe, which is something I also have difficulties with. But I thought because it's so difficult for her as an actor to do that, that the tears she brought up when she was hugging the jacket of Joel, that really felt very sincere, and I really love that they did with that with her. So I really like that we are getting some more time with them, that they're taking their time with everything. They're not pushing the entire game of game of part two in season two, which is something that they wouldn't do from the start. But I am really happy with that because during the middle part of next episode, we're going to be halfway through the series already, through the season, which is insane because not a lot from the game has happened. So I think these last 4 episodes will be jam-packed with stuff. And also now Abby. Abby just came, killed Joel, and went away. We did see Manny though. We did see the Falcon. That was something. No, I really like what they did with this episode. It's a little more dialed back, which is something really welcome after the devastating episode we had last week. It doesn't need to be big and bombastic every week. So I, for one, am very happy with what they did for episode 3, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with episode 4, especially because they're now already in Seattle, which is awesome. All right, I don't know if I saw it correctly, but I do think they are going the Dina route with the pregnancy because she was holding her stomach like this and she was making faces. So I do think they're going there, which is something I can't wait to see unfold in the screen or in the season, because that's just something that will tell you a lot about how the rest of the series and especially season 3 and stuff is gonna go. So yeah, a lot of good setup, a lot of great setup. I have been thinking about that name for 8 minutes now for the other group, not the Wolves, but the others. Still can't get to it. So I'm just gonna give up. The whistle thing, that's awesome. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. What did you think of episode 3 of The Last of Us? Please let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching. Consider to give this one a like and a comment if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.